record. Everybody has to keep me on track with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and I'm very excited and privileged to be here this morning with all of you. We have over 20 of our community here now, and it will be growing. Many people arrive in the next 10 minutes. Busy Saturday mornings are busy in Australia. And we also have this recorded. And in the Australasian Connect Facebook page, if you go there, the latest playlist on YouTube for 2019, the link is there, and also in the email I send out. So if you're ever wondering where to watch for the recordings within 2 or 3 days after the Saturday, that's where they'll be. So the topic of today is something that's always a really fun and inspiring and important call, because we understand that not everybody can make it to the annual national or regional conventions or conferences, and for all kinds of reasons. And so we do our best to give a real highlight and a snapshot of what happened here. There's also many people that don't have, a regular team meeting to attend, or they, for whatever reasons, are disconnected with their support team. And this weekly call has been happening for 15 years now with the support of Diana Hunter and Gary Knapp. And it's a lifeline for those, especially those that want to keep their mood up, want to keep their education connected to what's happening, and also want to stay connected with the great community that we have. And we've got some stars represented here today, and Kristy is out busy marketing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around with 2 sets of questions, but because Kristy has to get back to work, I might just let you cover all the questions I had in both sets. Kristy, would that suit? Yes, okay. So Kristy, I will unmute you. And hopefully that worked. It didn't work. There you go. So Kristy, thank you so much for being here. I know that we're covering 2 bases with one call here, highlights of the conference, obviously, and also we've chosen our award winners to be able to do that. So we really all need to be, clapping our hands, putting a wave. Congratulations in the chat box there to all these ladies, all ladies this year. And Kristy won the award for Top Gold Executive Director, which is a very prestigious, one step away from presidential, and it takes hard work to get there, Kristy. So huge congratulations for your award and your contributions to this community. And yeah, how did it feel to win that award?
Good morning. You can hear me okay?
Perfect.
I'm actually in a beer garden at the motel where I'm staying, so it's actually quite nice. I feel like I'm on holidays. Look, when I won that award, anyone that was there would have known that I was shocked. I really didn't expect to win it at all. Last year to me I wasn't where I wanted to be last year, and there was just no way I thought that I'd win it. But the one thing that I did do all year is I'm just consistent. I just keep doing it. And I put myself, like, I do these markets quite regularly. I build up my relationships with my business builders, and obviously, consistency pays off, and I haven't quit. I think that's the key to it. So you just never know what's going to happen if you put your head down and just keep working really hard. And while my personal expectations, or by my standards, I didn't think I would win such an award. The fact that I did means that I must have done something right.
Well, I think that one of the clues that you said right there in the very beginning is that consistent activity. And, I'm sure we'll all be nodding, everybody that won, they had big challenges in that year. It wasn't like a smooth sailing rocket ship to the top. It's like persisting in action no matter what was happening around you, and managing, I'm projecting here, but I imagine you had to manage your thoughts.
Well, and that's it. And that's where I thought, I actually, on the, I kissed 2018 goodbye for any award. I lost some things happen in my business I had some business builders drop off, and you start questioning yourself, you start questioning yourself as a person, and as a leader and everything like that. And I really did say, right, I wasted far too much energy on the negative side of things. But I just wake up every morning and I still do the same thing. And that's the only thing I can put down to is because of that. I sort of pick myself up and keep going. And I obviously kept going a little bit more than everybody else. And that's why I got the award. But it's, yeah, I was shocked. I'm honoured to get it. And it really has made me realise that I'm probably on the right track, and just to keep doing what I'm doing, and then I will get to that elusive presidential one day. That's what it feels like.
So
it feels elusive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a number, but there's a lot of growth and learning and steps to take in between those numbers, isn't it?
That's it.
And so I know you mentioned I've had the pleasure of hearing you speak quite a few times, Kristy, and one of the keys for you has always been when you've refocused and committed to personal development. So I imagine that would have benefited you last year if you said you had some hiccups and things weren't looking so good a few times.
Look, I can't. I'd hate to sit down and write down the amount of money that I've spent on personal development. And I think it all started back in 2014 when I went to my first ever manifest, and Darren Hardy was there, and he talked about the compounding effect, and they talked about, you know, this is a personal development business. And from that day, I come home and I don't read. I hate reading, but the list of audiobooks I've got on my phone is endless. I listen to a whole book coming up here to the market today, which, by the way, is March 2 with Your Hair on Fire by Richard Brooks. Great book. If anyone wants another book to listen to or read, it's a good one. And you know, I've had life coaches. I've gone to Kerwin Ray. I watch YouTube videos. There's nothing that as I said, I'm just brainwashing myself. I think it's better than I. And when I say brainwashing myself, I'm really trying to drown out all that negativity and put in positive stuff that I can keep going. So, and that's basically what I attribute it to. I think I probably am working on myself more than anybody else is working on themselves, because that's what it's all about.
Well done, Kristy. Well done. And 2 or 3 highlights from the conference?
Look, it was great. It was in my hometown, so that was a highlight in itself. I loved Nadine Champion. I thought out of all the speakers, she was a highlight for me with her 10 seconds of courage. I did use that yesterday. I had to do a Facebook Live, and I've made a challenge of doing Facebook Lives, and yesterday I used the 10 seconds of courage to do that. So her story, her message, her whole presentation, I thought was brilliant. Al Bala is always, I just love his passion, him really trying to get people to focus and commit and make a decision whether you're doing this business or not. I just, like, he's pleading with us to do something and to grow Manatech Australia and get over ourselves and just do it. So I loved his messages. Obviously, the award was a highlight for me, but yeah, the whole weekend was a great weekend. But I think the whole lot, Nadine Champion was probably my highlight.
And for anybody listening today or in the future, just search Nadine Champion, just like the word champion, on TEDx, and you can get a sense of what her message is. And everybody here listening today, and whoever you pass this on to, can get into the 10 seconds. I've used it too, Kristy, since that weekend. And it was really, I think, just to give everybody a little bit of background, she talked a lot about her life and challenges that she'd been through, and one was a health challenge. And there was this one point in her health challenge before she was going to have her final chemo, and she just couldn't take it. They couldn't get veins, and she couldn't take any more suffering. And she was on her knees in the hallway crying, and she made a decision to get the last one done. And so I think metaphorically, there won't be anybody in partnership with Manatech for a business and for income perspective that hasn't had that experience of being on your knees in the hallway crying and then making a decision and keeping going. And that's the difference in my experience of witnessing this over the years and winning some awards myself, is that if you just make that decision to keep going, it doesn't really matter in a way what the year looked like. People have overcome, and seemingly unsurmountable odds to achieve their goals. So Kristy, well done. Thank you so very much. And I know you have to go.
What I might do is put myself. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
No. Is it my internet that's funny or yours?
I don't know. We're just crossing there a bit. So
what I might do is put. Yes, I have time.
Okay. Just what do you attribute? Is there anything else you attribute your success for others? What do you recommend, and what's in your heart before you have to leave us?
As I said before, it's working on yourself, and it's crashing through those fears and what is it? There's a book called Feeling the Fear and Doing It Anyway, I think. And everything's internal, and I think it's so hard to describe because it's all inside of all of us. Every single one of us has got it inside of us, but so many of us are looking for external things to happen to get started or to do stuff, and it's not. So, and that's where I think the personal development is for a start, but you can also be a personal development junkie as well and still get nowhere, because you actually have to take the action. It's never ever easy. So it's almost like, I think the South Africans have got read and apply. So if you hear something or see something or learn something, then at least apply it and crash. And as you crash through different fears, different barriers, different blockages, then that's when the growth happens and you grow as a person, and then you actually become, I think, who was it? One of the speakers on the weekend, you actually start attracting people, not so much, hunting people. And I think what I'm personally doing this year is, you showed, I think Diana showed that book. When I was at Fiji, I noticed Richard Brooks' trainings on a Manatech site, and I've watched all of his, and I've really embraced his training. I this year will be more, and I'm in the headspace to do it, is to educate and put credibility around network marketing. I think so many of us are ashamed of the industry, ashamed of that word, ashamed of the pyramids, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm guilty of it too. I sort of hide and sort of back down a bit. But I think if we can educate people on the industry and the advantages and the myths and all of that, like Richard Brooks teaches, and then my tool or vehicle of choice is Manatech. So instead of trying to bash people over the head with, we've got the perfect product and the science, and we're trying to tell people how good we are, which we are, but they don't want to hear that. Like, well, I've noticed they don't want to hear that. They don't care how good our stuff is, and until they see what's in it for them. So I think if, and another thing that I've done is I've concentrated on people that are sick or need our product, and sometimes that really is frustrating. So when I get business builders, and they go down, and we're duplicatable, of course, and they go down the same track of focusing on sick people, and the frustration sets in, that's when they quit. So I'm really embracing Richard Brooks' training, and going to implement that this year to really try and, attract business builders and build Manatech faster that way than build hospitals, which I have been doing. So yeah, that's from my heart. I think, we just need to get over ourselves, do more personal development, and if you've been doing the same thing over and over again, and I would love to see, more than anything, in 2020 to have Manatech Australasian have doubled the amount of people that they were there this time, because I think all of them, Eric Worry, and that say it's so important to get to events. We know it's going to be February next year. Start saving for it now. I think I said this last year to everyone as well. But, if you start putting a little bit of money away now so that you can get there, and get your team there, because, I had some people there that, in actual fact, my husband couldn't go. So I gave my ticket away to a lady who is a friend of a business builder, and now she looks like signing up. She wasn't interested at all to go. So it's important to get the people to those events, to get them excited, to get them to see the vision and what it can do for them, and it takes you out of it. So if we can make 2020 a great one for Australasian Manifest, no matter what state it's in, then that'll be good.
Fantastic, Kristy. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you, and congratulations from all of us. You can't see, but there's lots of congratulations in the chat, and we've all got your back.
I'll put myself on. I'll probably still be on the call, but you'll be in my pocket while I go and quickly set up. So I'll have myself on. I'll be listening to everybody else's words of wisdom, and I will just put you in my pocket.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
That's a first.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thank you. And I'll just go to Rachel now. So Rachel, I'll just unmute you. So Rachel, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. And you were the Rookie of the Year this year.
That's correct.
Brand new into activity with, I know you've been very connected to these calls, and
yes.
Congratulations from all of us. So, you know, how did it feel to win that award?
Well, for me, I was very grateful, but it was totally unexpected because just only being in Manatech for 7.5 months, I didn't actually really understand that there were annual awards. And but it's also made me realise that that anybody early in their Manatech career can be acknowledged at this level.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was very exciting to see you recognised, because we'd sort of connected on Facebook a bit, so very happy for you.
Yeah.
And what do you attribute?
Take this opportunity, Sharon, to recognise you and thank you, and Gary and Diana, for the commitment that you've made all over these years, and that your knowledge and access, that we can access you is to anybody who joins Manatech, and that's been instrumental in me being inspired each week. Thank you.
Fantastic. And what do you attribute? Seems to me, from my connections to you, just raw passion.
Well, I did write some things down, and I just put back on the top of the list new associate enthusiasm, because I imagine that's part of it. And if these other ladies on the call probably go, yes, that is part of it, you know, to embrace that for yourself. Like, I hope it goes on for a long time, and obviously for new associates, that we embrace their new associate enthusiasm through this. But I just, like Kristy said, that consistency and goal setting and weekly accountability, I've been doing that with my mentor and my enroller. And again, there's self-motivation involved in that they're not with you all the time, so that you have to do that. And I found that basically I lent on the resources that are inside and outside of Manatech, and obviously inside of Manatech is my enroller, Donna Cat, thank you, and my upline mentor, Rod Gilchrist, so thank you. Our virtual office, the success system, which Richard Brooks' work is inside of, which is inspiring as well, the Manatech app, the Mana Tracker, I managed to sneak in on that, and Ray Robbins' book, Get a Grip. So that's all inside. And outside of Manatech, I've really lent into Richard Brooks' work, and also he has a Heroes podcast, and Eric Warwick's work as well, and he has a GoPro podcast. And by listening to those types of podcasts, I actually saw qualities in the people that they interviewed that I actually had. And so that actually raised my belief in that I could possibly do this as well. So, yeah, so that's sort of what I contribute to my success. And surprisingly, here I am.
Well, huge congratulations. Well done. And so we'll now go around with everybody, and I'll come back to you about the conference afterwards. So, Sharon, top silver executive director.
Yes, it must have been a year for shocks. Because I was just like Kristy, and flabbergasted when I heard my name, and you know, yeah, just like her. You know, last year was last year, and I had a good run there, and you know, I think what got me there was the work I did for the incentive, because the incentives are always my holidays. Being single, you know, there's no one else to sort of go away with, so I love going away with the, you know, the top builders, and having a fantastic time. So whatever I'm doing, if I'm not being very active, you know, that will actually motivate me again. So I did go quite well for that incentive, and I earned it. So I think that was why I won. But you know, that was a while ago, and so I'd sort of forgotten about it. I'm actually grateful that I didn't know, because I'd be, what will I wear? You know, because it was,
Girl problems.
Yeah. Oh well, I got up in whatever. Look, it was, I just felt fantastic. And I never really cared about it. Award, you know, like you get your directors and your national directors, and and you get up and stand up, and that's fine. But this was different. I really felt different after this, and I don't know, it spurred me on for more. I want Kristy's next year. So she had this year, and she got gold next year. So I want gold or above for the next one. It was just amazing to be recognised for it, and just the congratulations and the what's the word I'm trying to find? The validity that sort of thing.
Hello.
Other people outside of the company, you know, when you post something on Facebook and everyone's, oh, congratulations and that, and wow. And I think it gives them a little bit of a, oh, what is this that she's doing? No, it really is. Yeah, they're normal people that I can see all around her. And I don't know. So to me, it adds a bit of, it boosts up what people think about networking and all that. So, what was that? That was How Do I Feel, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And you contribute the contribution to it was your activity for the incentive and how that inspires you, your travel dreams.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything else?
How do I feel? Oh, is that what I'm attributing to my success, Sharon? Or yeah. Oh, okay. What Kristy said, personal development. I mean, I'm to the stage the last year and this year I'm thinking, gosh, I'm whatever age I am, and it's hitting another big 6-0. Well, hitting a 6-0 this year. And I go, oh my God, my mum was dead in 3 years. I haven't done anything that I want to do yet. So it's relevant now, but Nadine said, when you become more afraid of regrets of not trying, that's when you'll break through. So I'm getting teary now.
Me too.
So, the personal development. So you've just got to break through whatever it is. So, you know, your fears and stuff. So I've been doing a lot of that over the last 12 months. And then I just find my success, I suppose, is asking questions. Sometimes I want to blurb it all out there. I'm excited about something, but you've really got to find the need of somebody and then, you know, ask the questions. And then it's not like a big hard sell, and I still do it to this day. I walk away and I go, oh, I just vomited on them, you know. But, just having a conversation with them. Like we said, this is a valid industry, and that book was fantastic. I'm only halfway through it. I read half of it on the plane coming home. But, what we have is real. You know, don't let anyone's opinion tell you otherwise. And, look, what else? What did I have down? And just have a heart for the company. You know, look at all of us. Most of us have been here for, 18, 20 years. We know the company, we love the company, we love the products. I really believe that what we have is an answer to people's prayer half the time, either for their health or their finances. As Imelda, I keep calling her Marcos, Imelda Roche said, this industry changed the trajectory of her family's life. I think it was her.
Yeah. And
that's what it can do for us, whether that's on a health thing, or a financial thing. And I'll leave the other things to later, I suppose, I think.
Perfect.
But, and the other thing that Rachel touched on, the new associate excitement. We can use that with the launch of Impact, because I suppose I'm going to the highlights now. Oh, am I? So the Impact Plus I was so excited about. So that's like, I'm going to use that as if I was a new associate, if you know what I mean. That excited me so much. I'm thinking, I can't sort of sleep sometimes thinking, this and this and this. So, for those old associates of us, we can be new associates when it comes to Impact and be very excited about that.
That's right. I could see if I scan the guests here today, I can see there's a lot of us that have been here for a while. So who's up for being a new associate excitement energy this year, 2019? Fantastic. That's good advice, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And Miss Patsy, lucky last. And it's not letting me unmute you. You might have to do it yourself, Patsy. Do you know? Let me try here. There you go. Perfect. So congratulations. Giving Spirit Award, the Mike Forrest Giving Spirit Award. It's an award of the heart. I know you're a hard worker in your business as well, but this one is an award of the heart. Congratulations from all of us, Patsy.
Thank you. That's great, coming from a previous award winner.
Yeah, they used to joke I was the first live person to win the Mike Forrest Giving Spirit Award, because the first 2 years it went to people who'd been very committed to Mantech but had passed over. That's very funny. People still joke with me about that. Yeah, it's great.
It's nice to join a lovely club. You know,
absolutely.
Diana, you,
yeah,
and a few others. It's just great.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great company and mission and everything about it, purpose, to commit that level of heart-directed energy to. I mean, it's so deserving, Manatech, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was absolutely stunned, and I was floored and humbled. And because I was so floored, I forgot my manners to say thank you. It was just beyond anything I really expected. But, it's a company that draws these feelings out of us, you know, to give. Because the company itself is a giving company in information and coming up with the best of products. We, as everyone knows, we've had Andrew, and we've explored a lot of products and systems and things by Andrew. This is the best of the best, and as such, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate to share that information, and if I can't share it, I'll give it. And in giving, I hopefully that even if they don't do anything immediately, that sometime later they will. And I'm passionate. And I've also overcome a bad habit I had to argue that it was the best. Now I just give and reassure and validate that the program is the best that anyone could acquire, and also the greatest way to develop an income. You know, right now there's so much instability out there, and it's in many ways it's up to us to share. But I love being able to treat everyone as I would like to be treated. And as such, that I offer and I give. And you know what? There is another thing too, and this is part of the Manatech family. They not only offer and give, but they accept the outcomes that come our way. For all of us, well, I know Manatech has been a journey, and believe it or not, ups and downs. Just like I'm certain everyone has the same experience, and you know, to reassure oneself that you're not the only person undergoing these challenges. Everyone's going through it, one way or another. And this is part of being there for your team and being there for people who at that very moment just need someone to be kind and reassuring.
Absolutely.
And for some of us, we've been here a while, haven't we? It says something for all of us that Absolutely. We're still here, we're still sharing, and we're still giving. So my passion remains my focus, and to be loving about it rather than dynamic. People get shocked when you're too passionate because they wonder what you're on. Plus, that's what I'm on. So, Sharon, celebrating the small wins is also what we're about. No, it doesn't matter when they enroll their first associate, when they rank for the first time, we just need to celebrate those little wins and love them for what they've done, because they would have been challenged to get to that level. So that's me.
Patsy, well done, well done. We'll move to giving people the best we can to give highlights of the convention. But before we do that, I also want to acknowledge the award winners that aren't featured today for various reasons. Now, Naomi and Evelyn, I know she's on today, but we're going to have a whole call with her, which you should put in your diary now. And look at the bottom, I think it's the 23rd of March. So we'll be able to celebrate her whole year and her whole career with Manatech and everything that she is, such an amazing leader. And also Ken and Marilyn Aveling-Rowe, one top executive director. And who else is not here? Margaret Ewell, one top enroller. Both of those people were on it. One was already booked and somebody, Margaret, had trouble with internet. So please, if you get to watch this later on, please accept all of our congratulations. We're here cheering you on and backing you up and maybe racing you for next year. Some people will be making decisions today. Some little healthy family competition for 2020.
Sharon, may I just reinforce one thing about something I love doing, and that's to encourage everyone to go to the events. We've been very fortunate. Simply by encouraging people, we've had really great numbers attend events. And I love the outcome of the events. Each and every, you can share an event experience, but when it's a personal experience, it's a different thing. And we really encourage everyone, no matter who, just like Kirsty gave a ticket away, it's encouraging that perhaps if you have a heart to buy a ticket for someone else who can't afford it, and give them that ticket. The events are the most powerful things that we can share with new people, with old people, and with prospects. I love events because we all get something different out of it, don't we, Sharon?
Absolutely. And, you know, especially your team or your colleagues, your cross-line friends in our family, you know, you never know when the right statement or experience is going to be really deeply impact someone. And that's what happens at events. And you get to feel the culture of Manatech, which is, it's unique and special. It always has been. It's really, really important. And when they say decisions are made at events, that's just not a statement. it's real. It's fact. We, all of us, have seen it happen over the years. So yeah, fantastic. And I can remember when I started in Manatech, I was so vehemently opposed to network marketing and frightened and judgmental, and you know, and I used to think that all the positivity at events was brainwashing. And I heard someone ask a question at this event about that. You know, you're just trying to brainwash me. And I've grown now as a person to realize we're responsible to brainwash ourselves and to immerse ourselves in positivity and with positive people and people that want the best for us. And that's something that people out there are praying to be a part of. And we need to continue to be the best we can be in finding safe and professional ways to engage them in what we have. Let them see the dream and the possibilities. So we'll just go maybe back to Rachel, 2 or 3 highlights from the convention. I'll just unmute you. It's not letting me unmute right now. Sorry, you'll have to unmute yourself. Can't hear you, Rachel. Yep, there.
Lovely. Well, Sharon, I didn't actually attend the event, so it was nice that somebody caught a little clip on film to actually message me that my name was announced. And you know, we've had a big year this year with my husband having a near fatal accident, so we just knew our funds wouldn't get me there. But my goal is to be there next year. But my newly executive director, first line downline, went on my behalf, and my enroller went, so I'm excited. So I'll be meeting with both of them today to get the real lowdown on the event. It sounded very exciting.
Oh, fantastic. I thought I saw you there.
No, not this year. Next year for sure.
Good thing you're here. We can fill you in.
I know. I've been gleaning what I can, but yeah, I'm sure I'm going to learn more this afternoon with the girls.
I would sure love if they were able to have videos of Nadine Champion and Imelda Roche for us to review again. They're such gems, and that would be really, I know you would love them, Rachel.
And I've heard Imelda speak as well before.
Have you? Oh,
so
yeah.
Good.
It's definitely a privilege.
Do you want me to go on to the top tips for others, or just you'll move to the other girls first?
I'll move to the other girls now. I'll come back to you, though.
Thank you.
Oh, Sharon and Patsy, can you just go back and forth with highlights? You might have to, sorry, my mute thing's not working.
Yeah, yep. Highlights. I always love hearing Steve Nugent, and even though I've been around for such a long time, just to hear the core 5 and how he went through those was amazing, and just reiterates, you know, what great products we have, and the caliber of who he is. If people really knew who he was, I do, and his experience, you just have such confidence in what we have to share, you know, and give to other people. So that was a great reminder of the core 5, and then just the Impact Plus, the all-in-one, 3-in-1 sports product. Yeah, nothing like it out there. As I say, a study coming to be published, but as he said, the VO2 is as good as the Impact, which has got a study published. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And like everyone said, Nadine Champion really. I just think she was the right speaker at the right time for, you know, most of the people in the room there. And I've used my 10 seconds challenge too, courage too, the other day. And, you know, just what barrier do we want to break through? You know, it just, yeah, she just touched my heart, and it was just such a right word at the right time for me. So they're my highlights.
Yeah, you have to give also a congratulations to corporate. They aced it.
Yeah,
it was just it was such a good convention.
Yeah.
Very lucky that they pulled it all together and partnered with Sandy Canton for some fine tuning, and it was just so perfect.
Yeah, and I must say, just to like Patsy was saying, to have some of my associates there was fantastic. You know, that was the best feeling, that I wasn't there by myself, just with my upline, that team was there, and they got so much out of it. So yeah, it was, I want more there next time. And you know, we always try, but I'm going to try harder to get them there next time. So, thanks.
No, fantastic.
For me, the highlights started actually with the energy. It was such a positive, sharing energy. It was like family coming together and everyone saying hi. The energy was so positive. So that started it for me. And then, and exactly what you ladies were saying, the corporation, the company got it together perfectly. The setting, the energy, and the speakers. I loved the Dr. Steve Nugent, as always. How could you not love him? The information that comes out of out of Dr. Steve is amazing. And, you know, I've added him to my prayers now that he lives a long time and we don't lose him.
I know.
Because he is just extraordinary. And so that was great. I did like Al Bala, and again, he's like in some ways the visionary that we also need to be reminded of what great things are in place for us. And Kevin Robbins to really clarify that compensation plan. There are many in our team who keep saying they don't get it. And I fancied that after that day, the leaders who were there will get it. And then, of course, my favorite man now, Chris Simons. He is amazing. You guys didn't know that in Dallas, we were standing in a queue waiting for a bus, and he rolls up in his car and says, "Where are you girls going?" And we said, "The mall." And he says, "Hop in." And I'm like, wow. So we hop in, and I asked him how much he was going to charge for the drive. And he said nothing. And I said, "Thank God, I don't know how much to tip you." So he's a real great guy.
Yeah.
Serious, but he is good value. So then how about the speakers? I loved what Imelda did for women.
Mm.
I loved what she did, you know, to empower them.
Mm.
How many times do we as women need to be empowered? Whether we're good or we're not, we need to be empowered. And then Nadine Champion. The highlight for me of Nadine's talk was when she won that fight and thought she had more fights, but then diagnosed with cancer. And that is, say, part of our mission, is to get people before these bad events occur in their lives. And we all hope for better, but we sit there and say, maybe tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes because things happen to us. So amazing. I loved the whole weekend. And my boy was performing not so well this time, but he's going to be better next time. Andrew.
That Amber Toast Life going. Has he had more cognitive leaps, Patsy?
Absolutely. That's part of the challenge now. He thinks he's a kingpin. He's improved so much. But Mother is finding it hard to continue.
How long has he been on Amber Toast?
He's on, he gets 2
For how many years? No, how many years has he been on Amber Toast?
15.
15. And now with Amber Toast Life, he's having progress. You just never know what our body can do with the right nutrition.
Absolutely. And we also know that as these products are improved, it's important to keep them going. With the Amber Toast Life, he is changing. It just amazes me. He assists more with chores, but instigates chores to the point where, hold it, I'm not ready. He's moving fast, this boy. So with that comes, he's becoming more assertive. Man, that's difficult.
And man about town, good old Andrew.
Yeah.
Part of our community. Very well known and well loved. I just wanted to highlight about Imelda. I don't know if anybody's noticed the last year or so, it feels like Ray Robbins has just sort of slid into this place of just downloading wisdom. It's like this wise mentor, like all this massive knowledge, and it's like he's got this energy of giving away for free. And that's what I felt with Imelda as well. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was such a privilege to hear her thoughts. And, you know, I'm sure everybody in the room, there'd be things that you just was perfect for you and things that wasn't exactly right. And you can see if you dated perceptions and stuff like that. But her wisdom is so pure, and her overview and her love for empowering people, you know, and how she's done that in so many ways. I really appreciate it. And I know she had a few jokes about the guys in the room, and some of them might not have taken that too well. But I think, you know, that's why, isn't it? You know, if she didn't say anything bad about people, but if it triggered you, then look, well, do I need to change that behavior or not? You know, or maybe the men in the room weren't doing those things, or, you know, holding the women back. And she had such a viewpoint from the evolution of women in business, which I think was just pure gold. It was just awesome. So apologies to the men. If any of those things offended you, look at your life and see if there's anything you need to adjust and maybe listen to, and if you didn't, then there's no reason to be offended. But she was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well done. And I don't know, I'm going to I didn't tell her this. Diana, you don't have to come back on camera. I'm not sure, you might have gone somewhere else. Did you want to add anything to the highlights for the conference? Because I know Gary couldn't make it this year, but you were there.
I'm right here. I'm always right here. Oh, yes, on the hop. Thanks, Sharon.
Well, you might be sitting there thinking of something that was really important to you.
One of the things that's really important to me, apart from the details, is the community experience, getting belly to belly with everyone. So obviously, and I had team there. I'm not sure who mentioned it on this call, but I think having team there and seeing the support that it is to their own development and their own inspiration about the company, that is priceless. And being able to just, go and do the social experience, because a lot of my team, I live in rural Queensland, so that's a bit remote to some of the members of my team, and so are they. And so being belly to belly with them to step through that experience, again, is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd just be repeating, I have also used the 10 seconds of courage. It's such a powerful message
Metaphor,
that Nadine has. And it can be just in tiny ways. Just that message to me means the courage to step forward. Mm-hmm. Also her message was there's honour in trying. There's honour in even trying.
Yeah.
Such an important thing to get in our head, and I've used it several times. You can use that every day, can't you? It doesn't have to be in your Manitech business, just in life. I'm just thinking what else has stayed with me this week. I mean, one of the Melda Roach's stories was that she was invited to have her portrait done as part of a series of portraits of, I think it was significant women over the last century. And she was, and I think it was in 2008. It was a century from 1908, 2000. And she was chosen as the representative of business, women in business. And she pointed out she's, a network marketer, was chosen to be the representative in that portrait.
Up against all her corporate peers, banking, high-level corporate, and she's a direct seller that won.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was, honouring our business and not only women, but our business recognised in over 100 years as a significant contribution to Australian business in general. I think that was a powerful message. Scanning, what else has stayed with me? Again, Dr. Nugent, the power of what we have. We know what we have in our hands, but having that scientific message delivered, I think is really important. The other thing that I'm enjoying, and this isn't anything negative to men, but how women are starting to starting to have the stage and starting to share their story in a more powerful way. I've found very empowering to me as well.
Thanks, Dana. Thank you so much. Yeah, well done. Thank you. So I think we'll go now and just go around and just leave people with any tips you want to leave them from your experience, all our award winners, and what's in your heart to leave people with in their partnership with Manitech going to the next year, decade. Rachel, do you want to go first?
Okay, lovely. The top tips that just being new to this company is that I found that I like to plan my time off, and so that meant like my daughter's basketball game or church and family time on Sundays, and so that outside of those reward times going ahead, I would actually apply myself to my business every day. And so then when I actually get to my time off, the phone gets left and everything, and that is actually guilt-free because I know I've actually done the work in the time that I have. And plus at the moment, my hobby is Manitech. So, I'm an avid scrapbooker. So I can spend hours scrapbooking, but that's been put aside and I'm actually doing my Manitech activities. So it does sit in a place of hobby for me. Of the enjoyment of doing it as well. So that's my little top tips for that. And my heart for Manitech going forward, I have my personal why, obviously, in everything. And I love Dave Ramsey's work and his baby steps for financial freedom, and a gentleman called Wes Hone. I align my desire to be financially wealthy to support Kingdom Resources. But with Manitech, what we're actually doing here is actually providing cellular food for well-being. And this industry of Manitech impacts on people's health, wealth and purpose with the M5M. And everybody touches on those. And I know yourself, Sharon, has said, what do people lie awake thinking about? And those things that we offer here in Manatech. So I'm just really excited about changing people's lives in those aspects.
Well done, Rachel. Thank you so much. And Sharon.
Wow, Rachel, I can see you being one of the top leaders.
That's right, I'm there.
Such wisdom, I tell you, from a rookie.
Claiming it. That's really excellent.
Yeah, wow. So to add to that, and Al Bala said this, that action doesn't start until you believe in the industry, your company and the management, the products, the comp plan, until you believe in your team and yourself. And you know, we've talked about personal development, you know, the network marketing industry. You know, if you don't believe in any of those, if something's holding you back, then and you're not taking action, that's probably one of those things. So, you know, you've got a fantastic line of mentorship, you know, so seek some help there and, you know, just really research it and you know, read these books like the one we got from Bliss on the weekend, and just have the courage to do what you need to do. And like Diana just said, the 10 seconds of courage isn't always big things. For me, it's don't eat that, you know, stay committed to my 90-day fat loss challenge. You know, it's the courage not to go with that feeling of, oh, it doesn't matter. So little things every day, those the decisions that you make, take courage. So my tip is that you commit to this. We've got the incentive, you know, really get stuff happening. You've got the new products. You've got your Ambertoes, the new Ambertoes, to go back to all those old Ambertoes users that might not like the texture. And yeah, look, my heart is that I want everyone to know about this. It's their choice whether they do decide to take it up or not, but it's my passion to actually offer that to them and as many people as I can offer it to. So, yeah, I think that's all, Sharon. Thank you. And thank you very much for all these calls. I know I use them. I love them. I love being able to share them with my people that haven't heard of them before, all the recordings and things. So, yeah, ever grateful to you, Gary and Diana, and Manatech for supporting those too. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, it was somewhere around 2003, I think, the first one started with a different associate, Glenn Bolton and myself. And you remember back then? And basically, we saw a good system happening in North America, and we thought, well, why can't we have it here? So that definitely took me 10 seconds of courage, probably 20. Because I was so frightened when we started, I couldn't even hear I didn't know what I'd even said. I couldn't even hear it. Yeah, you know, yes, one of my highest values is contribution after integrity, probably. But it's also selfish. It's equally selfish. It inspires me and keeps me going. It's just been a lifeline, really.
That's
so, amazing. Patsy.
Thank you.
Where to from here? Primarily, it's important that I keep working on me, personal growth. And in so doing, be that role model that team members can see and address their issues with personal growth. And by being a better person, I suggest that I'm going to be able to speak to a lot more people, but in a way that it's not suggesting that what I have is good, but in finding out where they're at, and then find out their challenges and their issues before I can really help them address the issue through Manatech. So I love stories. I think stories is a great way to get to hear. First of all, asking people for their stories. And it seems to work because from their stories, you glean the information that you need to share with them. Mm-hmm. So that is my mission now. And definitely, wouldn't it be nice to finally get over this not hitting that presidential? Man. By the way, but when I went down there, this convention, I was kicking my own butt at not learning enough or changing enough to get to presidential. So my mission now is to even change more and see if we can hit that target. Are you with me, Sharon?
I'm with you, Patsy. I'm with you.
Both Sharons.
Yeah. How many Sharons are there?
Rachel, we won't put pressure on you.
Okay, great.
So, you know, we have the best of the best.
Yeah, we do.
It's how we learn and we become the best that we're going to draw more people to be with us and to share that wonderful product.
And that clarity, that kind of clarity is magnetic, isn't it? So that's what we're talking. So many people mentioned that one of the things that was highlighted was to be more of a farmer rather than a hunter, you know, and that farmer planting seeds and being there and magnetic and confident and good posture and passionate, like Rachel, it's magnetic. So we all wish you, we all celebrate you. And Kristy, if we're still in your pocket, I can see you're still there. Congratulations to all of you and the award winners that couldn't be here. And just so you know, coming up, we have Kevin Robbins going to do the next week, I think, is Success Tracker. I have it here somewhere, sorry. Next week is Kevin Robbins. So he's going to go through, and I'm still going back and forth with him and corporate to determine whether it'll be like a napkin presentation for a brand new person that we can invite guests to, or a training to us on how to do that, so, or a combination, which could be tricky. But anyway, there's a bit of an email chain going around that, and we'll work out the best thing for all of us. Then we have Bob Adam. He's the general manager of the US Manatech, and he's this whiz-bang expert on Success Tracker, which we usually like to have a Success Tracker training once a year, which I'm very grateful to have Bob put his hand up for that. And then Dr. Steve Nugent and Naomi are following that. So, and Dr. Steve's going to cover Impact Plus. So that's the next.
One more thing, Sharon.
Yes.
I almost forgot to say thank you to you, Diana and Gary. These calls are so vital for the well-being of all associates, and we will continue to invite people in. But we've also used the recordings to put them on CDs. For those who have not been able to get on the calls, because they are so valuable. Yeah. Thank you again.
We're networkers, aren't we? We just got to spread the good news and find the one whose heart's called to it. So congratulations to everybody. We had a good number of you on the call today, over 30. Let's make this grow. Anybody going to link arms with me to make this call grow this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Will do.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Have a great Saturday, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye, Gary.
See you, Gary.